Hi students, welcome back to the video. So in this video we are going to solve all the questions which have been asked for 15 marks. Okay. So the first question is like this. It's question number 18 from the paper 2025. Kumta Mining Company took a mine on a royalty from landlord at royalty of rupees 20 per ton of mine raised with a minimum rent of 50,000 per annum. So the terms are as follows. The recoupment time will be for the next 2 years. Out of this sentence, this point is important. That is, the recoupment time or the recoverable period is for the next 2 years. This is the year and this is the output. So in the year section, if you observe, there is a strike mentioned which is for the year 2024. So this point is what makes the question much more important. Usually they ask this type of adjustment for 15 marks, and after this the things that they have asked is to prepare us a royalty chart, then royalty account, a landlord account, and a short workings account. Let us start with the preparation of a royalty chart. If you have watched my previous videos in which I had solved the questions for 5 marks, you will be knowing the concept by now. So to prepare to prepare the royalty chart, we need 8 columns at first. The first and second columns are very simple. This column is copy paste from the question, that is the year column. The output column is also simple. It's also a copy paste from the question. Then the actual royalty or the royalty column comes from this value. In the question they have given royalty is rupees 20. So you should write that 20 here, and you should multiply this 20 with each year's royalty, like this 20 into 2000, 40,000, 20 into 20, 2200, you will get 44,000, 20 into 2800, you will get 56,000, 20 into 3000, you will get 60,000, so on. Then minimum rent column. So minimum rent column, uh, for whichever year there is no strike, then the minimum rent will be 50,000 as they have given in the question. See, for this year it will become 50, for this year it will become 50, for this year it will become 50. But for the year 2024, there is a strike for 3 months. Now the strikes adjustment comes only for minimum rent. Okay. Now how to calculate this? See, 3 months strike, you will see a working note here. Strike for the year 2024, the strike is for 3 months, right? Now a year has 12 months, that is this 12. In a year there are 12 months, that is this 12. Out of this 12 months, 3 months were into strike, so you should deduct 3 months. So 12 minus 3 becomes 9. Therefore the minimum rent is calculated like this: 50,000, which is the actual minimum rent which is given in the question here. Then 50,000 into 9 by 12, this is the 9. That means there are 9 months remaining out of 12 months. So 9 by 12. 12 are the total months in a year. So the answer will be 37,500. So this will be the minimum rent for 2024. Now coming to the deficit column. Deficit column is nothing but this column minus this column, or you can always take it as 40,000 minus 50,000. Okay. Third column minus fourth column. Uh, yeah, third column minus fourth column. 40,000 minus 50,000 is 10,000, or it will become minus 10,000. Then 44,000 minus 50,000 is 6,000. Then 56 minus 50,000 is plus 6,000. So whenever in the deficit column, you should remember that if the answer comes negative, then only you should write the entry. If it is positive or if there is excess amount, you should not write it here. For example, 56 minus 50 gives you 6,000. So that 6,000 should not be written here. Then similarly, 60,000 minus 37,500, you will be getting the answer into positive sense. That's why you should not be writing it. So this is how you solve deficit column. Now coming back to the recoverable column. Now in order to understand the recoverable column, we should see the recoupment time first. So this is the time what they have given, that is the next 2 years. That means this 10,000 is to be recovered in the next 2 years. So For this year, the next 2 years are this year and this year, that is these 2 years. So in these 2 years, if you can recover the amount, let us see. So here there is already a deficit, so this year won't come. In this year there is an excess of 6,000. See here, the royalty collected was 56,000 and the minimum rent which was to be paid is 50,000. So here 6,000 is excess. 56 minus 50, 6,000 is excess. So this, out of this deficit 10,000, 6,000 is paid here, as the validity of the recoupment time ends here, because it was clearly said that next 2 years only, that means this year and this year. Therefore out of this 10,000, 6,000 is paid here and remaining 4,000 becomes irrecoverable. Let us see for the next deficit. The next year's deficit is 6,000. For this deficit, the next 2 years are this year and this year. So these 2 years are the recoverable years. So in this year there was a profit of 6,000, but that has been utilized, so you cannot use here. Here if you see, the royalty collected was 60,000 and the minimum rent was only 37,500. So there is a lot of money remaining here. Out of this excess money, 6,000 is easily recoverable. So this is how you solve the recoverable column. I insist you to watch my previous videos in which I had solved a 5 marks problem based on royalty. If you see that, you will understand the royalty chart more clearly. Then finally the amount payable column. Amount payable column, you should, to prepare this column, you should first see, you should first have a finger or have a eye on this column, that is the actual royalty column. Then you should have your eyes or finger on this two columns. So I'll be explaining, that's why we have written here a plus sign and for recoverable a minus sign. So if deficit comes, make it plus, if recoverable comes, make it minus. Then let us see for the first year, 40,000 plus 10,000. Now if the entry is in deficit, then it is plus, if it is in recoverable, then it's minus. So 40,000 plus 10,000, it comes 50,000. Then for the second year, 44,000 plus 6,000. So 44,000 plus 6,000, again 50,000. 56,000, there is no plus entry here, there is a minus entry here. 56,000 minus 6,000 gives you 50,000. Then 60,000 minus 6,000 gives you 54,000. So this is how you should calculate the amount payable column. Always remember, one finger on the actual royalty and the other finger on deficit or recoverable, whichever applies to that particular year. Then at the last, if your problem is right, then the amount payables total and the actual royalties total will be equal. If there is a balancing figure, like in this problem, that is the actual royalty is 2 lakh and the amount payable is 2 lakh 4,000, the exact balancing figure is 4,000, you will find the same balancing figure in the irrecoverable column. This is how you verify your question yourself. Okay, now the next concept here is, in this question they have asked us to prepare a royalty account. Royalty account is much simpler. This is the format for the question, for the account, that is year particulars amount, year particulars amount. Now the entries, you please note down the entries first. On the two side, it's always to landlord, that is that means the royalty is paid to the landlord. On the buy side, it's by profit and loss, that has been written as P&L account, that is by profit and loss account. So once you know the entries, the next things are very simple. Okay, so the entries are like this. On the two side, it's to landlord, on the buy side, it's by profit and loss. If you see the amounts here, I have taken all the amounts from the royalty column itself. So for royalty amount, you have to see the royalty column, that is the first year's royalty is 40,000, the second year's royalty is 44,000, 56,000, 60,000. Here it's nothing but a copy paste of that. First year's 40,000, 40,000. In the total also same, 40, 40. In the second year, 44,000, 44,000. In the total also same. Third year, 56,000, 56, 56, 60, 60. So this is how you prepare a royalty account. Then coming back to the to the next account, that is a landlord account. The format remains same: year particulars amount, year particulars amount, both on the to and buy side. So as we saw, a royalty column for the royalty account, for the minimum, for the landlord account you should see the minimum rent column. So in the minimum rent column there are entries like 50, 50, 50 and 37,500. The entries should be on the two side, it should be two cash, two cash, two cash, two cash, two cash. The amounts here are all the minimum rents amount. If you can see the chart, you will understand. 50,000, 50,000, 56, sorry, 50,000 and 60,000. 50, 50, 50, 37,500. Sorry students, there is a typing error here. It should be 37,500. Sorry, 37,500. Okay. So then on the buy side, you should write all the royalties amounts here. Buy royalty, buy royalty, buy royalty. If you can see here, you will see all the royalties amount. 40,000 for the first year, 44,000 for the second year, 56,000 and 60,000. The same entries you'll be seeing here. 40,000 for the first year, 44,000 for the second year, 56,000, 60,000. So these two entries are simple. Once again, landlord account, to cash, buy royalty. To cash are all the minimum rents amount. Buy royalty are all the amount from the royalty column. Then you should go on tallying 1 year after 1 year. See, 50,000 and 40,000. So the 50,000 will be coming here. The same amount will be coming here. Then 40 minus 50, the balancing figure is 10,000. That is the short working. For the second year, 50,000 on this side, then there is 44,000 as royalty. So the greater number is 50,000. So I'll be writing here 50,000. When you tally, you will get the balancing figure as short workings, that is 6,000. So in this year also same, the minimum rent is 56, 50, the minimum rent is 50,000, royalty is 56,000. In this year 56,000 is greater, that means the buy side is greater. So copy the same number here, write 56,000. You will get the balancing figure on the two side. Whichever side the balancing figure comes, you should write it on that side. So that should be a short workings here. 56 minus 50, two short workings, 50,000. Then similarly the last year, that is this year, in this the minimum rent is 37,500, the royalty is 60,000. See here in the table you will see the royalty is 60,000 and the minimum rent is 37,500. So that is what is written here. Then the 60,000 is greater, you will write the 60,000 here, you will copy it here. Then you should write here two short workings. Okay, find the balancing figure and please make a entry here. Okay, so let us go for the next. Now let us have a look on short workings account. Again the format will be same: year particulars amount, year particulars amount. This account is also simple. All you have to keep in mind is, as the heading itself says short workings account, in the previous account we'll be having short working entries. These are the balancing figures what we'll be finding. Okay, so you should take all these entries and you should put it in the next account, that is here. Buy short workings will become two landlord because it is coming from the landlord account, right? So this buy short workings 10,000 will be coming for the first year, that is two landlord 10,000. Second entry, buy short working 6,000 second year, so two landlord 6,000. Then the third entry is on the two side, two short workings, so this becomes buy landlord. So two becomes buy becomes two, short workings become landlord, and this two short workings will be coming as the next entry here. Okay, so after that we should start. Once you write down all the short workings entry, then you should start from this. See, to landlord 10,000, the same amount will be coming here, that is by balance carried down 10,000. Then in the next step, this by balance carried down becomes to balance brought down, that is 10,000. So if you add this both, 10 plus 6, 16,000, this same amount will be coming here as by balance carried down 16,000. Now for the next year, this balance carried down becomes to balance brought down. Now in this year, there was a short working of two sides, that is here. Then the balance carried down here, that is the balancing figure, that becomes 10,000. Then this same 10,000 becomes balance brought down here. Then this is very important, that is by P and L account. So this P and L account 6,000, sorry, this should become 4,000. This should become 4,000. This should become 6,000. Okay, so this by P&L account 4,000 is coming from the table, the irrecoverable. This is that. Okay, so this irrecoverable 4,000 comes here because it is for the year 2024, right? Sorry students, there was a small error. Let me explain the short workings account once again. To prepare short workings account, you should see the previous account first. In the landlord accounts, all the balancing figures, that is the difference between minimum rent and the royalties, are named as short workings. So in the first year, you can see the minimum rent was 50,000, the royalty was 40,000, hence the short working amount is 10,000. So these entries here, by short workings 10,000, by short working 6,000, two short workings, because the balancing figure here is on the two side, two short workings 6,000, two short workings 22,500. So all these entries, only short workings entries, this entries will be coming on the short workings account. So by short workings becomes to landlord, because this is the short working account. So and the heading is landlord, so it becomes to landlord. So I'll be making it bold so that you can understand. To landlord, then to landlord, then by landlord. So these two by entries are have come on two side as to landlord. This two entry has come on by side as by landlord. Now I'll explain how this balance carried down comes. So for the first year, to landlord is 10,000. The same amount is to be taken here. So this becomes by balance carried down. So this amount comes here. That's it, as by balance carried down. Then this by balance carried down comes here as to balance brought down. So for this to balance brought down 10,000, that is which has come from here, 6,000 of the previous short workings gets added, so the total becomes 16,000. Again this 16,000 comes here as by balance carried down. Then this by balance carried down becomes to balance brought down for the year 2023. Now here you will see the by landlord account entry, that is this 6,000. So this entry comes here as 6,000 as a short working entry. Then this entry by P&L account 4,000 entry is from the table. See, for the 2023 year you will see irrecoverable of 4,000. So that comes in this year as by P&L 4,000. Then this is the balancing figure between 16,000. 16,000 is written here. 16 minus 6 minus 4, that is 16 minus 10 becomes 6. So this is the last entry. You can stop the short workings account as soon as you reach the loss year or the irrecoverable year. Okay. So this is how you should solve a short workings account. I hope this video has helped you. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more solutions. In the next videos, I'll be solving the next 15 marks questions. Please uh, watch it. Thank you.